toikseksi ja pitkä puoli, vasen tiukka, auki, 5. Paseri, helppo, jatko.
Caution, 5 right plus over big jump. Into care, 6 left over jump.
Did you like that, wee man?
How are you on those jumps?
Crest 5 right, and crest 32 plus right, don't cut. Option to raise it. 2 plus right, don't cut. 2 plus left long, 2 plus right. 20, 3 plus right, 3 minus left.
8, oikein pitkä, nopea, kirraa. Ai. Voi! Kirraa.
Welcome to day 2 of the Swedish Rally, the only pure winter event in the World Rally Championship. Although this year winter arrived only at the 11th hour, leaving many treacherous stretches of ice and gravel for the drivers to contend with. Aussie Chris Atkinson was the first to be caught out by the changeable conditions. This his WRC debut.
Chris, there's damage to the side of the car. Yeah, we just slipped wide in a tightening corner and just fell in the ditch. But got back going, maybe lost 20 seconds.
It wasn't just the rookies who suffered. Peugeot's new boy Marque Martin is still struggling to get the best from his 307. He spun early on day 1, down at the wrong end of the top 8. On his first rally of the year for Skoda, Jani Parsonen also had a torrid start despite the Finns' experience in such wintry conditions, but he was able to continue. And even Superman world champion Sebastian Loeb proved that he is human, overshooting this junction, delaying his quest for a second consecutive Swedish victory. So those were the copybook blotters, but the revelation of day 1 was Mitsubishi's Gigi Galli, running as high as 3rd. The Italian has already set his first ever fastest stage time, proving the team's podium finish, and the Monte was no fluke. He's the first Italian to set a fastest WRC time since Piero Liatti in '98. But the battle for the lead was between 2 of the world's best drivers, and it was ferocious. From stage 1, Petter Solberg and Marcus Grönholm had been giving it their all. Solberg had the advantage early on, but 3-time Sweden winner Grönholm has the narrowest of margins coming into day 2. The Peugeot 307 ran faultlessly. The Finn seems inspired. The next 2 days will be a classic battle. Day 2 of Rally Sweden is the longest of the weekend, with 140 kilometers of competitive stages, including the infamous Frederiksberg test, one of the fastest stages in the world. After the first stage, just 0.2 of a second separate Gronholm and Solberg, with Sebastian Loeb 10 further back. As in Monty, Mitsubishi have both drivers in point-scoring positions. Local hero Matthias Ekström, the 2004 DTM touring car champion, is the lead Skoda driver in 9th. He won the Group N class on this rally last year. Opening test of the morning, the first run through the Sunseon stage, 21 kilometers. A few last-minute preparations for the crews as they prepare for some of the most challenging stages in the world of rallying. Subaru's new signing, Chris Atkinson, had a difficult start to his WRC career yesterday after going off the road in the first stage. But the Australian is slowly but surely getting to grips with the conditions.
8 right plus, opens on crest, continues long, 70. Hug long, 7 right, don't go
7
wide.
fastest on stage 8 is his best run so far. François Duval, new at Citroën, steadily increasing in confidence as the rally progresses after his huge Monty crash. Belgians understandingly driving defensively. With no snowbanks to forgive mistakes, it's hard to give 100%, and François is under strict orders to get to the finish, but he's still quick enough to put pressure on Gigi Galli in 4th place.
Pour droite 60 cordes, tenir 60 cordes, sur gauche 80 en frein, pour droite 60 ferme et 3, surtout pas extérieur, 60 ferme, surtout pas extérieur, pour gauche à fond 2 fois, et frein pour droite 60 ouvre.
Mitsubishi driving Italian Gigi Galli's superb first day delighted the team, but he too has been told to bring it home in one piece after proving his point and his undoubted pace on the opening day. With just 7 seconds separating the two drivers by the end of stage 7, though, that's easier said than done. Both will feel the position is theirs for the taking, so driving within their limits will require a lot of self-control from Galli and Duval.
Ok, 2 meno a destra, 2 questa, in sinistra via lunga su Dossino, meno anche questa, e sinistra via con Dossino, Dossino in destra 3 meno secca, Dossino in destra 3 meno secca, per sinistra via con
World champion Sebastian Loeb has a better road position on this second morning. Not running first means he's no longer clearing the loose snow for those that follow behind. We've already seen one uncharacteristic effort from the world champion. No doubt this lost time will still be preying on his mind, but the Frenchman is looking quick again. He sets the fastest stage time on the first test of the morning and reminds the leading pair, as if they needed it, that he's still in the hunt for victory.
Gauche 140 moins Milan, sur droite 130 plus court.
Marcus, just 0.2 of a second between you and Petter Solberg. Well, it's going to be a very, very big fight today.
I think so, yes. We have to remember that Loeb is not far away, so it will be a hard fight, yes.
Marcus Gronholm seems pretty fired up today for the fight. What about you?
Yeah, why not?
5, 4, 3, 2.
On then to the enthralling battle for the rally lead. Just 0.2 of a second, remember, separating Gronholm and Solberg. The Norwegian begins stage 8 first. Solberg's having one of his best ever Swedish rallies so far. He could be on course to give Subaru their first victory in Sweden since Kenneth Eriksson triumphed here. That was back in '97.
Into 6 left plus of a crest, open 60, slow narrow, cut 6 left minus, keep in of a crest to 1 right plus, tightens.
3, 2, 1.
First, he's got to catch and pass the inspired Marcus Gronholm, though. Further into the stage, Solberg's still pushing hard. He's been searching for the best suspension setup, but with conditions so changeable, it's a compromise that's proving very difficult to get right. The early splits don't look good for the Norwegian.
Slow crest underneath 4 right minus a gap. Half long, tightens early.
Gronholm's had to adjust as well to a new Pirelli snow tyre for this event, but it hasn't affected his times, and if anything, the Finn's pace is even more impressive. Solberg, meanwhile, nearing the end of the stage, still looking quick, but will it be enough? Both drivers have given their all through this opening test. In fact, there's nothing between them as Gronholm closes on the finish line.
5 ja vasen eri miinus ahdas kirraa. 8 ja oikein pirun pitkä eri. 7 ja vasen eri tiukka. Ajattaa vielä.
1.1 seconds quicker, but Solberg is still too close for comfort. Well, Loeb's certainly not out of contention either after his third fastest stage time this weekend on the first test. Less than 10 seconds separate the top three. The battle for lead's not the only position being keenly fought over in this year's Swedish rally either. Here's the dice for fourth. Francois Duval's steadily been closing in on Gigi Galli in the Mitsubishi. Through stage 9, the Belgian pushes to make up the 7-second deficit on his Italian rival.
25. Long droite sans ferme, pas cœur d'entrée tard. Long droite sans ferme, pas cœur d'entrée tard, gaffe. 25, léger droite à fond, pour léger gauche à fond, pour sommaire.
This fourth place would be Gigi Galli's best ever WRC result, so the Mitsubishi man, you can rest assured, will not be giving it up without a fight. They're not on the overall pace, 13 seconds slower than Duval though, the Mitsubishi, and the fourth place has gone.
Destra via per sinistra via con ritardo a sinistra 6 pieni. 40.
Destra via per sinistra via
con ritardo a sinistra 6 pieni. 40. Occhio bivio destra 4 meno secca. 4 meno secca. 200.
Does that all arms and elbows star remind you of anyone? Well, it should do. Maybe this man, the 2003 world champion Petter Solberg's adjusted his suspension again before the stage in an effort to get the best out of the Impreza. This stage in Sweden is at its best. Flat out sections and blind crests and jumps, and Solberg's got his foot buried in the boards. This is not a stage for the faint-hearted. Norwegian flags flutter as Solberg sets the fastest time.
60. We are now -2. 6 right minus keep in 20. Early 6 left minus up long opens 40. Keep left of a crest and early 6 right plus up long. Keep bevy in of a crest. Slow keep left of a crest 30.
Well, you heard the splits being given to the driver. Marcus Grönholm gets those as well. He's seen that his rival has stepped up into another gear on the stage, so the pressure is on to respond. And this time it's not looking quite so good for the Finn. He's behind Solberg, but how much will the damage hurt him? The lead's gone now, surely. 9.7 back, a terrible time. That lead has changed hands once more. Well, this is the fourth time the lead switched between Solberg and Grönholm. The Norwegian now has the advantage at 8.4 seconds, almost the biggest of the rally. Loeb is second on the stage, now in third overall, 15.8 back.
Marcus, you've lost the lead. What happened?
Nothing special. It was, you know, the second stage, and everybody have the tires very bad in the bad conditions, and they are moving a lot. So it was not possible to go faster. It was, I don't know. That was it.
Petter, things change very quickly in rally. You're now in the lead with 8.4 seconds.
It's very tough. I lost quite a lot on the first stage this morning, on the first few splits, and we got it back quite a lot at the end of the stage. But the second stage we did was very good, no problem at all, and we took a big gap there. But still, we had a missed the front windscreen at last few kilometers before the finish, so we maybe lost a couple of 3 seconds there also.
Gigi, you had an excellent day yesterday with that quickest stage time. How has it been today?
Today we started very carefully, and because our goal for the first is to be at the finish line and to continue our development.
Advantage Solberg for now, but will it last? Find out after the break. Welcome back to Sweden, where this rally is becoming one of the closest events of recent times. The next challenge is the infamous Frederiksberg stage. After the euphoria of his second place finish in the Monte Carlo, forced Tony Gardemeister's come back to earth with a bump in Sweden. Outside the points for much of the first day, he's 7th on stage 10 and back into a point-scoring position at last. The man who used to occupy that seat is Marco Martin. He's finally found a differential setting he's happy with in his new toy, the Peugeot. And at last, the Estonian's able to show the pace he is capable of on this surface. Fourth on the stage, the Peugeot driver's now breathing down the neck of Mitsubishi's Gigi Galli.
Go 100, 6 right, tightens to 5 plus. 20, easy left. 70, 6 minus left fast.
He's already been passed by Francois Duval on the previous stage, so Italian Galli will need to get back into the sort of form he was showing on day one if he wants to prevent even further slips down the leaderboard. But the team want him to finish in one piece. It's some quandary, and it seems to be affecting his concentration. In trouble with a half spin. And he stalls the engine as well. This comes at the worst possible time for Galli. Perhaps the pressure is starting to show. The spin will cost him 20 seconds. He'll lose 5th place to Marco Martin. Petter Solberg now has the psychological edge over Gronholm coming into Frederiksberg following a superb effort on warm tyres on the previous stage. This is as much now as a battle of mental strength as it is of driving ability, with such intensity of competition, which is only increasing as every kilometre passes.
For the last split we have, Petter, Marcus is 0.7 slower than you, but you don't look too happy still.
No. There was no grip at the end there, nothing at all, nothing. I had oh.
For the first time in 2 days, fresh snow is beginning to fall and it's making the road surface even more slippery for the drivers. Solberg certainly wasn't happy with the conditions when he reached the finish. Gronholm is next through the stage. Can the Finn make up for his disappointing time on stage 9?
8, hae oikein eri jouhe yli nypyn. 7, oikein eri helppo. 120, vasen eri maali.
He does indeed. 2.2 quicker through Frederiksberg, closing the gap to 6.2 seconds to the leader.
What's wrong, Marcus?
Slippery, slippery. Whoop.
You're still quickest though, 2.2. It's not quite a lead, but it's something.
Yeah, we have to make Solberg a little bit nervous now.
Well, Sweden's always a high-speed rally, but the lack of snow this year is making it faster than ever. Frederiksberg, which Marcus Gronholm won last year and again this year, is a perfect example. No snowbanks to narrow the stage. He's free to use the full width of the road, taking a much faster racing line. Quite clearly quicker, if not maybe with that margin for error. This year he was an incredible 30 seconds quicker. With the intense battle for the lead, speeds could get even higher. Gronholm's edged again closer to his Norwegian rival. Galli's dropped 2 places in successive stages, and Petter's older brother Henning is still in 7th place. Francois Duval's built himself a healthy lead ahead of his rivals for 4th position, despite suffering 2 punctures on the previous Frederiksberg stage, the longest of the event. His bad luck at recent events, though, returns. Impact with a rock has caused yet another puncture. Duval and co-driver Stefan Prevost have no choice but to stop and change the tyre. Quick as they can be, nearly 5 minutes is lost though, and 13 places slide down the leaderboard. Bad for Duval, but of course good for Gigi Galli. The Italians gained a position already through Duval's misfortune, with Marco Martin also faltering. He's looking good to gain 2 places back on the single stage. And how's he dealing with that pressure? Well, again, a tiny mistake, a stall in the final corner. He literally crawls over the line. 5th quickest. Will it be enough to get that place back? Well, back to the duel for the rally lead, showing no sign of cooling down in the frozen forests. Currently the Solberg's first up. The new Pirelli tyre's working well in terms of stud retention, but it's making control difficult. The tyre blocks literally moving around through each corner. It's not affecting the Norwegian too badly, it seems, but it must be distracting. Solberg and co-driver Phil Mills don't seem too confident about their time here. That could be good news for Marcus Grönholm.
That was a big mistake. And we got it back. It was -1, and Sebastian at the last split just come in.
Well, Finn Grönholm said before the stage he was intent on making his rival nervous. It seems to have worked, although maybe the tyre tread blocks are doing the job for him. Grönholm's looking confident again through stage 11. Changing the pace notes as he goes through the stage. And still, he's able to reel off the time. 6.3 quicker. The lead has changed once more. Grönholm leads by 0.1 of a second. So nothing still between these two drivers in this amazing battle. 1/10 of a second the gap once more. Loeb 4.8 back and 7.8 back on the last two stages, is still in third but losing more time. Grönholm looks worried.
Well, Marcus, this seems more like chess than rallying.
Yeah, it's not easy now. Okay, Petter is going like hell and we have to fight, and we are just equal nearly.
Who will make the first big mistake?
I don't know. I hope not we, but everything is possible now. We go there without, I mean, the second stage, the studs are maybe gone, and it's difficult.
Well, Petter, the fight continues, and what a battle.
It's incredible. It's actually a little bit good fun, but a little bit wrong cutting in the tire now was the difference why it took a little bit time on both of them.
Are you feeling the pressure?
Well, he's on pressure, I'm behind him, so so he should feel the pressure.
Well, the rally's on a knife edge. Join us after the break for the rest of day 2.